Imagine a world where your rental payments actually go towards the purchase of your own home. Well, Rent to Buy is just this. And today we're going to delve into what exactly it is, how it works, and whether or not it's a scam or beneficial. So let's jump in.
So firstly, what is Rent to Buy and how does it work? Essentially, it's a lease agreement that allows a tenant to purchase a property at the end of the lease at a previously agreed purchase price. And it essentially eliminates the need for you to be saving a deposit, allowing you to use the rental payments towards the deposit. And the scheme has two components. The first component is like a normal rental agreement, where you'll agree on how much the rental payments will be per week, and a portion of this rental will actually go towards your deposit. But you pay a higher premium for the rental each week. The other side of the agreement is the purchase contract, or the option to buy, which is agreed to in advance and can be really awesome if the property prices are going up. You can really take advantage of buying it now and paying for it later, but also at the same time, you've got to be careful if the reverse is in play. Typically, the rental agreement is between 2 and 5 years, and with the option at the end of that period. So far, so good. It almost sounds too good to be true. So let's look at the details and understand exactly what Rent to Buy entails. Firstly, when you go for a Rent to Buy scheme, you'll be paying a 2.5% upfront cost. There are other fees involved, such as lawyer and accounting, and usually they're around $800 in total. The cool thing is you actually get to choose your own home, providing it's within your purchase power, and there will be an assessment for this. Then you're free to choose any property you'd like. And finally, as we said before, you do lock in the purchase price based on the exit clause. So when you exit the term, whether it's 2 or 5 years, you've got an option to buy the property. The price of the property will only increase 3% a year and no more than that. So even if your property has increased, say, $300,000 in value or decrease $300,000 in value, the purchase price will remain the same plus 3% on an annual compounding basis. And make no mistake, Rent to Buy is more expensive than renting because essentially you'll be paying for everything in this rental fee. And it includes everything from your actual rental payment to your utility bills, even your electricity, and all other costs of ownership, such as your rates and insurance, and even body corporate fees. And on top of all this, a certain amount will actually go towards what's called your purchase property offset. And that's essentially the amount of money that's accumulating in your deposit account so that once the term is over, you can go ahead and use those funds towards purchasing the property. Ordinarily, most people will be able to buy the property within 4 to 5 years once they've achieved 10 to 20% in their offset or rental offset. That's where they've been making the additional repayments. Other ways to actually purchase a property is if your home value increases significantly, you can actually purchase it through the normal means of financing, whereby a bank will actually value the property and you'll be able to get the loan so you can pay out the Rent to Buy scheme. There is a surcharge for buying it out early. How much this fee is doesn't say on the website, but I can imagine it doesn't come cheap. Question I had was, what happens if you no longer want to buy the property and actually want to exit the Rent to Buy scheme? Well, you can exit it, but it comes at a hefty price. So let's say you've accumulated $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in your rental offset scheme. Well, the trouble is that you will only be able to access and receive up to 60% of those funds. So whatever you've saved up on the additional payments on top of the rental and all the expenses, even if the equities increase significantly, you'll only receive 60% of the total offset that you've accumulated through the additional payments of the rental scheme. And real estate experts are saying Rent to Buy are the biggest scams going around. And expert real estate agents are essentially saying that they're dangerous scams who are predatory in nature, preying on the poor, which should be completely outlawed as they're a complete ripoff. And many don't even realize it's a scam until it's too late. Because firstly, they charge exorbitant amounts in rent. Essentially, rents are double the market rate. The next sting in the tail is that the purchase price is completely overvalued. So when you go into a Rent to Buy scheme, instead of paying the market value where prices are between $250 to $270, they'll actually increase it, and in some cases by more than $100,000. So from the instant you get into this scheme, you're in negative equity territory, relying purely on the fact that property prices will increase significantly. And to top it all off, the worst part of all is that the property's not even transferred into your name. You have no legal right over the property. And it quite simply means that if the company running the rent-to-buy scheme goes broke, then you're left with nothing, absolutely nothing. And look, my personal opinion is to try to avoid the rent-to-buy scheme at all costs. Firstly, we don't even know all the hidden fees that are associated with the scheme. And the only way you'll find that out is actually going through the process and finding them out for yourself. So the first thing I'd be on guard for, and the thing that I'm a little bit hesitant, is all the fees and charges, which sound plentiful. The second thing is that you can do everything right, and if the company ends up broke or collapsing, then you're left with nothing, absolutely nothing, and maybe you'll get 60% of your offset back. And to me, it's not something I feel comfortable with. And finally, the scheme, in my opinion, is simply putting you on training wheels. All the things that they're doing are things that you could be doing yourself, because the massive draw card with the rent-to-buy scheme is thinking that you're going to get instant equity and allowing yourself to be a part of the rising market. But the trouble, as we've uncovered, is that the reserve purchase price is so much higher that you're really relying on a miracle for the values of your property to increase significantly in the next 4 to 5 year period. Therefore, because you're paying that premium, it's really questionable whether you're going to get the upswing of the equity market and the equities increasing over that period of time. And if rent-to-buy is a scheme you're looking into, I'd say go in with your eyes open, question everything, and get everything in black and white so you can see exactly what you're paying when and what's applicable, all the fees and charges. Don't leave anything unturned. And here at Hunter Galloway, we get home loans approved. So if you live in Australia and looking for a great mortgage broker, we can help. We don't charge a fee for our service, and we help Australia-wide. So reach out and visit us online at huntergalloway.com.au or call us on 1300 088 065. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you then.